You are watching Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Now, before I move forward, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. I am your host, Blitz King Media, and your support is most appreciated. So, with Age of Imprisonment, this is the latest in the Hyrule Warrior series, which is a spin off series of the Legend of Zelda. Now, the makers of the Dynasty Warrior games, they teamed up with Nintendo to create the Hyrule Warrior games, and so there's like 4 Hyrule Warrior games out now. Technically 3 if you take away the definitive edition that was released, which was kind of like a remaster. But nonetheless, yeah, Age of Imprisonment is the latest in that, and it actually ties into Tears of the Kingdom, which came out back in 2023 for the Nintendo Switch 1. And that was a Game of the Year title, definitely a Game of the Year title for me. And basically it goes over, Zelda's adventure when she goes into the past, because like in Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda does go back into the past to experience a pivotal moment in Hyrule's history, which is called the Imprisoning War. Now, that's a pretty big deal to longtime Zelda fans like myself, because the Imprisoning War was originally mentioned in A Link to the Past, for the Super Nintendo back in the early 90s. That's how far back this thing goes in terms of the Imprisoning War lore. And that always intrigued longtime Zelda fans. It made you wonder more about the land of Hyrule, Zelda, Link, Ganon, the Triforce. And longtime Nintendo fans always wondered if they would go into more detail about the Imprisoning War. So that's the reason why a lot of fans like myself were surprised and hooked when they mentioned the Imprisoning War in Tears of the Kingdom. And now here in Age of Imprisonment, they go into even more detail about that and tell you about Zelda's experience in her own eyes, in terms of how she experienced the Imprisoning War. I didn't think they would tell it like this. There were some surprises in Tears of the Kingdom in terms of like what character is who and what character is this, and I'm like, huh? So that doesn't quite make sense, but okay. But it was still a good story nonetheless. But I'm still playing more of Age of Imprisonment, so I haven't finished it yet. So I'll let you know how that all pans out. But so far, the story's pretty good. It has me hooked. The gameplay is fast-paced, fun action. The performance is like 60 FPS. So when you're controlling your character and you're in combat, you're experiencing 60 frames per second for the most part. Occasional dips here and there, but they're not really that noticeable unless you're like, really, really, really paying attention to it. If you're like a real stickler on that, but for the most part, it's a lock solid 60 FPS experience. Unfortunately, the cutscenes are pre-rendered and are only 30 FPS, which I think was a missed opportunity. I don't know what went into the decision there. But for the majority of the time that you're playing this game is 60 FPS. So I will be providing more footage of this game, such as handheld mode. I'll get some off-screen footage for you. I have a Samsung OLED 65-inch TV, so you'll get off-screen footage of that. So once again, this is Blitz King Media. Thank you for joining, and tune in for more. And I am out.
I have you. Meet your end.